So you've done all your research and you just went out and bought a new RV or new to you RV. Then you say to yourself, "Self, what do I really need to get this thing working day one?" Now, if you're like me, you've done a lot of research on YouTube, and I'm sure you've had plenty of people saying you need to get this or you need to buy that. Let me tell you, most of them are sponsored and get paid to get free stuff to tell you about the free stuff they say you need. What I'm about to tell you is what I bought with my own money. I'm not sponsored, and if I was, I would tell you. Now, this list will differ a little if you're mainly boondocking or if you're camping in full hookup campgrounds. For our purposes, I'll assume we're just camping day one in a campground. Now, when you pick up your RV, it should have a power cord. Mine had a 50 amp cord. That leads me into the first day one essential of some sort of surge protection. You'll hear a lot of people telling you you need to buy a certain one, but I'm not going to go into details. But you have to have one if you want to protect your RV from crappy RV park power. You also might want to have a 30 amp adapter just in case the RV park only has 30 amp power. Trust me, I've learned the hard way. Now let's talk water. You're going to need two types of hoses when starting out. First is a potable water hose, that's for your drinking water, and a second hose that you're going to use for your black tank flush. Never, and I mean never, get the two confused. They're not interchangeable. Now, we have found the 0G RV and marine hose to be the best. They're flexible and lightweight. This one's about 50 feet long and is very durable. The hose that came with the RV, I use as my black tank flush hose. You're also going to want a Y adapter and a pressure regulator. The Y adapter is for hooking up another hose. Trust me when I say you'll eventually be hooking up a hose to it, or filling a bucket, or flushing your black tank at a campground with full hookups. The best pressure regulator to get is a variable one, where you can adjust the pressure. Most campgrounds' water pressure varies, so you want to check with your manufacturer's owner manual to see what PSI is recommended for your rig. Since we're on the topic of water, there's a few other things you might want to get when you're actually hooking up to your water bay. And that is a couple of brass 90-degree elbows. Most RVs come with plastic fill inlets, and the threads are plastic and wear out quickly. The brass elbows will prevent this from happening because you're actually attaching and unattaching the hose from the brass elbows and not the plastic fill inlets. You might even want to consider quick connects. Now, my hose setup, I leave connected all the time. When I get to a campground, I just connect to the RV fill inlet and then the park water line, and I'm done. Now let's talk about the topic nobody likes to talk about, the stinky slinky or the black tank hose. First thing, get a good pair of gloves and some antibacterial spray and leave it near the wet bay. For sanitary reasons, we keep our black tank hose and attachments as far away from everything else as possible. Now, as far as the hose goes, it doesn't matter which one you buy, but you're going to want at least 20 feet. You're also going to want a way to connect your hose to your system. We use a 45-degree elbow. You want to see what's coming out because you flush your black tank until it's clear. Another clear connection you'll need goes on the end of the hose that goes into the sewer drain. Remember, clear water running through both ends tells you you're good to go. Another item I consider to be a day one necessity is a black tank twist shutoff valve. This will help avoid a black tank poopsie. When you twist off your connector cap, leftovers will dribble out of the pipe, and nobody wants that. Now let's talk leveling. If you don't have an auto leveler, you're going to need to get leveling blocks and a good level. Now, a good thing to remember is side to side first and then front to back second. The last day one essential you'll need before heading out to the campground is a good set of rubber wheel chocks. Don't cheap out and get the plastic ones. They break and crack, but most of all, the plastic chocks won't keep your RV from moving on loose surfaces such as gravel. Well, that's it. I hope those day one essentials gave you some food for thought. Now remember, these are just my suggestions of what you need on day one. You might want to add to the list or get something entirely different. The most important thing is you're getting out there and having fun. If you found something in this video you like, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks a lot, everyone. See you next week.